Okay, hi everyone. Welcome to It's Friendly Chat 3, Post-Rescue Jamboree. Shout out to Whirl for coming up with better titles than either of us.
We love you all.
Uh-huh.
Whoop whoop.
I'm Kraken. Today I'm back with my poor fucking wizard, Craigory Danthew, and with me today is...
Hi everyone. I'm Vwild, and for once I'm playing the. Well, she's a traumatized monkey, but she's doing a lot better than the wizard. So we're just gonna help the wizard out. We're just gonna do our job and do some good stuff.
Yep. This takes place, like a couple of days, 2 days, three even, after the events of a New Deal. Basically, enough time
Between
that
20.
Craigory's had rest.
Yeah. Lin has put a mandatory. You are getting 24 hours, and then we can talk. I will not take you in before then. Go rest.
Craigory tried to argue with this, and then he fell asleep, possibly in the middle of it.
Lin was incredibly smug about this. Just wrap him up in blanket. Just gentle wrap. Not restrictive, but you are now
Burrito.
safe. Yes, the safe burrito.
Just roll him up.
The safe burrito. I am nodding. Yes, yes.
uh. So,
God.
with it being a few days later, I haven't thought too serious on how we open this, but Lin, what are you usually up to these last few days? Where are you at?
Nowadays, Lin's taken down a lot of her boards, and she's done a lot of good on trying very hard to put down cases and actually take care of herself. So she's been doing stuff like therapy notebooks and all that sort of thing, and, wrapping up everything that just happened,
Yeah.
because lots of shit went down. She's taking time to decompress on her own on that front, and just making sure that everything is in order that she knows. She's got a single case board on this stuff already.
Mm-hmm.
It's two case boards, but
Yeah,
but,
I'm sure. I'm
but
sure there's some
she's
unanswered questions here.
there are many unanswered questions. There are many disconcerting thoughts. She does prayer hands over it all. But she's got people that she's going to talk to on this stuff, and well, she does need information from one person. She does need to talk to Craigory soon, because bless him, bless him, she's got a lot of things on three different fronts to talk to him about, eh? Ugh.
Yeah. So, if you're at network right now,
Mm-hmm.
Lin might just be thinking that when, well, the front door opens
Mm-hmm.
because
Oh
he doesn't need to knock
no,
these days with network with Lin. Network just
no.
lets him in.
Network knows Craigory.
Mm-hmm.
It's as Craigory's hand comes up with the intent, the door is already starting to move open. It's just he's always welcome here.
Yeah, he'll give network's door frame a slightly distracted and absent-minded but grateful pat as he moves in, and it's just gonna call, hey Lin, you in here?
Craigory! Hi! Yeah, hang on! I'm in the side office! Puts down her books, puts down everything, puts it in the lock drawer, and then just skids out. Alright, I'm here.
Uh,
And
okay.
she's definitely looking for him. She's looking for him. She wants to see her wizard. She wants to see her wizard.
Yeah, he was already moving inside, so wherever they end up colliding.
Hmm. I think just because of the title, it's in the main hall, right where Craigory was standing in the second friendly chatting. That's where they meet up. Just
Mm-hmm.
that edge between the living room and the main hall.
Yep. He just goes, okay, hi, there you are. So I'm good. I've had my rest. Yeah, listen, You probably have boards already set up. I can add to that.
Okay, wow. Alright, first things first, you've been cleared to be here? The cleric's all seen you through everything? Everything's alright? You haven't, done a me and defenestrated yourself to get here?
I'm fine to be here.
Dodging the question, but don't worry, I'll help field stuff later on. Alright. Sure. You know what? Sure. Yeah,
I mean,
we gotta
Terry
fill
didn't try that hard to stop me, so...
Alright, well, if you've got Kara's approval, you're okay to be here. Alright, tell you what, sit down on the sofa, I'll pull up some stuff. Tea? Tea's good when we have difficult conversations.
Yeah, sure.
And Lin would, as she's making the tea, she'd like to roll an insight on her wizard.
Yeah, do that.
That is I forgot to get up your sheet.
Oh, shit!
Did you also forget to get up your sheet?
Yeah.
Okay, quickly, grab the sheets!
I have a bit more leeway than you.
Don't worry, I keep a PDF on my computer because I am smart like that. Alright. Lin, Jesus Christ, you... Okay, she knows her wizard.
Uh-huh. Ah.
How does a 23 do for your wizard?
It does... it does good. So first of all, Lin, you told him to go sit down on the couch, and he'd done that. But like less than 20 seconds later, he's back up again. And sort of not quite full on pacing, but standing fidgety, just kind of waiting and see.
Restless energy. She gets that.
Restless energy. He does. He looks tired. Despite all that energy. And
she gets that.
Yeah.
She gets that more than she can properly say out loud, and she has got it in her head and in her heart. She knows this kind of look.
Yeah, tired, restless. He's fiddling at his cuffs, fiddling at like sort of the shirt collar around his neck a bit. Network is a safe place, but he's still got that antsy energy.
There is that warm breeze just ever so slightly, just not enough to make him go airborne or anything, but just around him. Just as he's pacing, it's just, you're getting guided just a little bit, just the good circles. Burn out that energy. Just know you're safe. Know where you are.
Yeah, he feels that. He'll lean into it. I'd say the other big thing Lin picks up is just impatience.
All right. She finishes the tea just as quickly as possible, and then just, instead of taking them straight to the sofa, she does just pop them both on the desk. One handle face towards Craigory, and then just hops up on the desk, crosses one leg over the other, and just goes, okay.
Okay, so, this, I know both a lot, but also not really much is the thing, but,
and
it's, it should be helpful.
It's good to get it all out, and you have got information. Anything that you have is useful in this time. Even if it doesn't seem as though it's important or essential, it will be good to have everything that we can. Right.
Right, see, exactly. So I mental list the most important things. It's already up here.
Okay, that's good. And Lin's of two minds on this, because there's something she wants to talk to Craigory about, same time she's not sure whether to broach that first and throw everything off kilter when he's already in this mood to go, or whether to let him go through this and then bring up the second point. Because, yeah, she has a few thoughts on stuff.
She could do either. I will say, continue right off that 23 insight.
Mm-hmm.
He is perfectly happy to snitch on Thrall. He is ready to rat Thrall the fuck out on whatever he can.
You know what?
But if he's able to get away with not really actually talking about what happened, he will take that.
I think she'll splinter it. Get out the most of the stuff. Make him think, in a way, make him think as though, yes, this is the only thing I'm doing today. Okay, bye. And then she'll nab him, because she does need this information. This intel is important. So she just goes, okay, hang on. Pulls out a notebook, and there is a whistle, and I'm gonna roll hammer space to see how well. Yeah, no, there is literally just as you're turning one way, Craigory, there is a thump behind you, and there is a caseboard now up against the wall.
Is it already?
And Lin just goes, okay.
Is that the one that's in progress?
Yep.
Uh-huh.
There are two in progress. There's one that Lin's keeping kind of as the private one. This is the one that Craig. Well, actually, yeah, she trusts Craigory. Not many people get to see these boards. Craigory's allowed to for multiple reasons.
Aw.
And so yeah, she trusts him. And so she just goes, okay, right. I don't normally let people touch the boards. I know how your mind works. If there's something that you can't say out loud, by all means pick up a pen or write it or gesture at something, okay? This is a time to get information out. Right? So just...
Yeah.
And she takes a deep breath, and in this moment, she's still Lin, but there is a difference to her eyes as she leans forward, and she just goes, tell me what you know.
He's gonna start moving to talk, but hey, Lin, you want to roll a fun insight?
Yes, I do. That is a 19.
You know, Craigory's also gonna roll a what's better for him. Yeah, we'll do a performance.
Ooh.
All right, so a 16 isn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
But definitely doesn't beat out a 19. There's... When Lin says that, he stiffens. Mm-hmm. And there's actually a hesitation before he then squares his shoulders and goes, okay, so, okay, so you know from Fu about, like, they're interested in thaumativores. That's a whole thing. That's a whole big thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yes, they... Right. And she's nodding. It's just... She's very much taken the statement earlier. She is not going to use that around Craigory anymore. But she's now just nodding. It's a patient look. It's definitely her.
He had stopped, and then seems to sort of, again, restrain shoulders, fortify. Thrall wants any thaumativore, I guess, to
Okay, Craigory?
Oh, right. Jesus.
What's wrong?
He just rolled a modified one con.
Craigory, what's wrong?
He's gone to his knees on the floor.
Shit! Craigory! And she's gonna roll medicine, and she is already casting Cure Wounds.
Uh-huh.
I've got many things to look at all of a sudden. Boy, this is interesting. Right.
Yeah, that...
Okay. That is... Immediately for medicine, that is an 18. I will just roll the cure wounds, but she is immediately over not touching him, except for the cure wounds where she does just like... There is her tail against his knee. She remembers other stuff. She's not going to lay hands on him right now.
Yep. He's just sort of landed, crouching, curled in on himself. And he does have his hands over a particular point on his body.
Right.
Over a hip.
Craigory? Right. Craigory, breathe.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, breathing.
Breathe. Alright, okay.
Okay, I didn't think that would happen.
Yeah, okay. You're okay? Everything's gonna be fine? I've got you, you're safe. Can you tell me what's wrong? Is it latent stuff, injury? Are you able to tell me what's wrong? Is this a magic blow, or is this you struggling to say?
Struggling in a me sense, it might also, let's test that. And
are you sure we want to be testing this? And she is like, cure wounds, she rolled max. Monkey is concerned.
Craigory's just going to lift up, this shirt's tucked in. He's lifting up a corner of the shirt. Just, to see if anything happens there. And he just does it in one big motion, just in case.
Lin's looking, Lin's concerned.
He winces. But...
Right, okay.
I've got an image for you.
I have concerns.
Yeah, so... On Craigory's hip, pretty much like, where the bone kind of juts out?
The hip bone?
Yeah, the hip bone. There's something sitting there, like, in this... Is it a tattoo? Is it a burn? What is that? But it certainly is a icon, a marker, a stamp, whatever you want to call it. There's this. Aha, true. Spoiling that for one moment. It sure is there. This, It appeared.
Okay. Okay.
Didn't think it'd do that, though.
Alright. That's certainly new. And I'm gonna roll deception for Lin to see how well she's handling that, because he's been marked. They left a permanent, or hopefully not permanent. She's gonna be looking into it. Oh, thank you, Lin, for getting your goddamn high rolls. She's fine.
Yeah, 27, cool as a cucumber.
Yeah, there is the look, and then they're very much assessing it. Her fur is just slightly pressed down to the outline. It looks perfectly solid. She's going, okay. Did that arrive?
Kinda last night?
When? Last night.
Like, it appeared here on me, this body last night, but I thought I left it behind, is the thing.
Behind? So...
On
right.
Right. The other, like, what I spent that time at Thralls in. I thought it'd just stay there, so...
Okay. Okay. Tell you what, we're going to very carefully stand up and we are going to sit on the sofa, alright? If this is causing you pain, we're just gonna sit down and take it easy for a moment. You're gonna breathe through this.
I mean, it's not hurting right now. It's sudden. It was just sudden.
Alright, so it's probably activated by something. We'll get people in Halloween Town to look at it. I mean, we already have. There is a department, we have a department and that sort of stuff for dealing with curses and removing this sort of stuff. I don't know what this is, but we're gonna find a way to handle it, okay? But first things first, let's get you up onto the sofa and then I think we need to have a talk. Everything's fine, but yeah.
Okay.
And she is just going to very carefully help him up onto the sofa. Just,
Yeah.
if Craig likes, he can roll insight.
He sure will. Because, like,
I'm
I was
not
going to
giv-
say, it doesn't,
I'm-
like, hurt right now, but also he rolled a goddamn modified 1 on the con. Yeah, he's shaky on his feet.
Yeah, she is just full on, just like you have Monkey looped around your other side.
17 insight.
Mm-hmm. With the 17, Craigory, just as Lin knows you, you know Lin. And you can see that her mind is working on multiple tracks in this moment. She's probably already coming up with at least 5 contingencies of what to do about this, of everything, of what it is, of how it relates back to that mother pecker. Yeah, Thrall's a mother pecker now.
Mm-hmm.
But you can also just. There is something in the way Lin holds herself, in the way that Lin's tilting her head, the way her fringe is falling in her eyes. Just. She's very somber for some reason. She's not quite trying to mask her emotions, but you do see an almost frown on her face.
I mean, Craigory figures he can understand the reason behind that. This is just, this is a not good thing.
Mm-hmm. But you are very much helped, and there are a couple of extra pillows that just quite literally whoomph into being. Network's concerned for you. There is the full-on just hum in the background, just the little vibration as you actually sit down.
Thanks, Network. I'm good. We're good.
Yeah. We're good. We're good. Alright. If that happens every time you talk about certain topics, we're going to need. The information needs to come up. Yeah.
What those topics are.
Work around them. If I've had certain people before who were under contract and such and couldn't talk about things related to a case. We learnt through using sign or pictures or that sort of thing. There are a lot of ways of communicating beyond speech. We'll see if there are any of those that work to make a loophole in this. And of course, remove curse and that sort of thing. You shouldn't have to be in needless pain to get information out. I won't allow it.
It's like I can muscle through it.
But you shouldn't have to.
But people need to know. This isn't like about Lin. This is it's kind of big. It's kind of big actually.
All right, and we'll get the information, and we will get the information now.
Yeah, right. Excellent. So maybe I just pick another thing to talk about, like next down the list.
Okay. We're definitely circling back to the Thormavor thing.
Yeah.
Right. So. Okay.
Right.
And Lin does furrow a brow as though she's got a question she wants to ask, but She's gonna file it away for later, and she goes, okay, okay, give me the next thing on the list. We'll see if we can do that. Let's try.
Okay, Thrall had a lot of questions about
Okay.
Gelosity and
Okay.
Thomivores because it turns out she probably is that. Whoops.
Thomvor eats magic from what everyone's been yelling over my head.
Yes. Feeds
All right.
off of magic.
Okay.
Which
being like
is the well, I mean, there may be other. It's the thing about them they're most interested in. He's kind of speaking slowly, just trying to suss out, like, if something comes, try to figure out exactly what the trigger is.
So,
So
like
so
the
good.
creation process.
Yes, they had a lot of questions about how I did it. I don't know. So that's good.
Yeah.
I don't know how or why Gelosity turned out the way she did. They asked about everything kind of in relation, and that includes everyone who's ever been involved with that, and that includes you. And Pip and Boomer and Foo, but they were interested in you.
Oh.
Not so much in an information sense, I think.
Right.
It was just a lot of questions about you in particular. So,
That's disturbing, but at least we're aware of it.
so you might want to, I mean, you don't have a particularly set or regular schedule, which is the good thing, but maybe also switch that up.
Yeah, I'm gonna be switching some stuff up. I've already got certain precautions in place. Wonderful thing of having a network of connections that are very loyal to you. You can get away with a few things, but I'll put in some extra precautions, some slips and tricks. I'll notify a few people.
He does
Were there?
relax a bit at that.
Yeah. All right.
Sorry. Yeah.
Hey, no. You have nothing to be sorry for. All right? You have nothing to be sorry for in this circumstance. You do get that, right?
He doesn't say anything, but the look he gives you seems to speak pretty clearly to he doesn't believe that.
All right. On this note, you are not the one who tried. How to articulate this best? I'm blunt as a sledgehammer, but what happened to you was not your fault. Giving away information in this circumstance, they likely didn't just ask you, especially if they did. And she just does a head tilt towards the hip. That you.
Well, that's
You
the thing.
didn't willingly.
All they had to do was ask.
Yeah, but
Gius, you know.
indeed. And seeing as not answering the question causes you extreme pain, and after that, they very much could have done other things. I'm glad you gave information up instead of suffering. It was torture, Craigory. Getting information from you was likely torture. I'm very much going out on a limb and saying that. So I am glad that you chose to survive. You gave up information, but it's recoverable. We can work around it. We can't work around losing you.
I did mitigate a few things somewhat.
All right.
I was able
That's
to I was able to destroy some information.
Oh, you absolute glorious picnic! How did you manage that?
Uh, I won some time poking around their archive, and I spent it setting things on fire. I can talk about Thombers. Yeah, I went to that section. Lin, that stuff was old. That stuff was really old, and I burned it.
That's my Craigory. You're chaotic, and you're always doing your best. I'm proud of you.
I don't know how much that realistically sets them back, but it's got.
It'll set them back a little bit. Every little bit counts. Every edge you can get is one you can stick in an enemy's side. Remember that, okay?
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
You seem to be doing good on this.
Yeah. You know, it's stuff need to know, and I guess it's.
Yeah, it is stuff we need to know, isn't it?
Yeah. All right. So I guess. Okay. So the parameters are just talking about like the big plan, the macro scale, the specifics of one. Yeah, we can work with that. We can figure out around that.
Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, we can.
Yeah.
And
you obviously you found their like spot in Toontown, which was obviously if anyone ever needs to get in there or know where they actually live, I don't have specifics, but and he stops and there's a hissed intake of breath.
all right. Whoa, down on that.
Check Pip's letter. I did write
Okay.
down basically what I know on that there.
All right. I will. We're definitely going to be handling that sort of stuff. Just you take it easy. And she has just full on put a hand on his knee at this point. Her brow is furrowed as she's thinking over a lot of different things at once, but there is that look of concern on her face. Just don't push it. Don't push it. We've got a few things in mind. I think Fu had something in mind as well. We've got a few possible contingencies on how to find that place.
Okay.
Everything's gonna.
Yeah. Things will be good.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
kind of the least important compared to everything bit down that list is I am basically a witness to some deals that went on, trades, and like not all of it was bad, and I don't know like names of people, but I can describe people. Anyone who's in association, that could be helpful, right?
Indeed, that is essential. If we can get, from what I know of Brawl, it's odd. I don't actually remember reading much on them, but hey, grapevines. They do deal in a lot of different things with a vast range of prices. Some morally grey, some for coin, fortunes, others for a lot less good.
That about sums it up. I think the price is sort of set on the value of the thing being asked for, so it might also be from person to person.
Indeed. It's how those. Yeah. Well, they're a good businessman at that point. But it's all about who you know, resources and that sort of thing. But you've got the information in your head, and there are ways of. I have certain people who will be able to help with that, and all of this information, we're definitely getting it down on the board, okay? It's everything you have is going to be handled. I promise you, Craigory.
He nods. He seems like he believes that because it's coming from Lin.
And she has kept like her hand on his knee, just she has been monitoring to see if at any point he seemed uncomfortable by it. But it's just she's trying to be a grounding comfort as well.
It seems to be
And
essentially working as that. I mean, to get anything more nuanced, that's an insight roll, but he's not pulled away.
God. I think now's a good time for both of them to roll insight because Lin has many thoughts head full.
Yeah. Where'd my dice go? Let's do it.
Where be the dice? Where be the dice? Right. So with the 17, Craigory, Lynn's been listening, and you can tell that she is putting everything together, figuring out who's the right resources to help out where. You can also see, after the talk of stuff that people need to know, her brain did splinter off into a different thought, and that somberness, that almost sadness, almost. You don't think hurt is quite the right word, but there is a flash of something like that, just for a moment before she tamps it down and focuses on other things. But there is a seriousness, a gravitas to Lin as she's been here. You've been seeing Detective Stagehand, but you're also seeing Lin at the same time. And Lin is sneaking through more.
Otherwise, with Lin's 18, Craigory's still kind of... He's been tense this whole time. Slightly manic. But, like, one hand is tapping on his leg, the other's kind of fiddling at his collar, and eyes are darting back between Lin and the board, essentially. And I'm gonna roll something.
Oh.
Huh? Avery,
You
what?
have managed to quit sorcery.
It's supposed to be a 2.
Fascinating. Committed sorcery.
Don't know how or why it did that, but that was a 2 that Craigory just rolled or something, and yeah, he's really going back and forth between you and that board. Fingers tapping.
Right.
But he kind of shakes his head a little and refocuses back on Lin.
Right.
Are you... I mean, okay, we've been talking about me. Are you good?
Yeah. No. Yes and no, I guess. We'll come back round to the case in a moment. If that's okay with you, I think there's something we need to talk about.
Something more important than all of this?
Connected, interrelated, in a sense. But, basically about the initial part of this, I guess. And Lin does, with her free hand, just run it through her hair, and her eyes are on show. She's trying here, and she just goes, with everything that went down, I didn't know what was initially going on. However, from what I could pass through information, Pip did know. Especially in relation to Henrik. Craigory, how long has Henrik been back?
I'm. This is the point where Craigory is kind of reminded / has to remember he isn't sure how long that whole thing was at Thrall's, so he can't give a like super definitive answer on that. But before,
I think he was given the date in like at the end of New Deal.
Yeah, you know what? He probably was. So he has to think for a moment to get that date, then do some mental math, and then backtrack a bit more. It takes him a thinking moment. 2 months? Ish?
Okay. And how long did you know they were back?
I mean, those 2 months. If they're around before, they didn't make it known.
And Lynn nods. And that nod seems to then go a little bit deeper. She takes a deep breath on that one. And she just goes, okay. And you knew? Did they do anything to you? How did you know that they were around?
Well, they arrived with purpose, I guess you could say. They tried to endear themselves to Boomer. It did not go well. Mm-hmm. I have never seen Boomer not take to someone like that.
She's a smart kid.
Yeah. So I think looking back, their strategy was to get her on their side, and that did not work. So then I took Pip with me when they wanted to go talk somewhere, at actually the coffee shop we initially sort of chatted at after the whole Gur chase thing. It's a little funny coincidence. Not super relevant, just,
Yeah. Small world.
Small world. And that was a good thing that I told and took Pip along, because then they did end up, they wanted me as a research partner, so I did see what they were working on. Mm-hmm. He glances back at the board again, and what's, red stringed on there, and his fingers just tap, tap, tap. The copy thing.
The copy thing. She's very specifically not saying clones because she has picked up on that. She's like, okay.
Didn't want much part of that, honestly. That
perfectly reasonable.
Yeah, they did swear Pip to secrecy. That's probably we've probably run into some trouble there.
Yeah, but they didn't swear you into it.
They didn't swear me. I think they thought. I can't tell if they just thought I would think like them and be cool with it, or if they actually knew me well enough to know I just wouldn't, because I didn't want people to know. Honestly, couldn't tell you.
All right, and was that the last time they were in contact with you?
No. Just, one more time before the, you can call it the incident. They did come speak to me in my home. I arrived and they were there.
Inside?
Yeah. Rifling through my lab notes.
Son of a pig.
Yeah, so, I did get some more answers out of them at that, because we were alone. There was stuff they didn't they weren't going to say with Pip around, but also stuff I wasn't. They framed it on my end, I guess, like stuff I wouldn't ask if Pip was around. The point is, I kicked them out. I made myself pretty clear, and I thought that was it. You know, I didn't see them again. And that was that. It was solved.
Of course, that's... And Craigory, you can clearly see that through this last part, after that hissed intake of breath, Lynn's kind of just slightly grit her teeth, and she's still nodding. There is definitely something there. And her fur has flattened down. She just goes... No one could have predicted the extremes that Toon went to. The fact that they tried to isolate your child, the actions that they did with Pip and you and everything in between, what they have done in the deals that they have made with the Thrall, and the darkness as that new being is. I'm going to have to chase that down, but the fact that they went through all that effort to do something, the silence after the plotting. Craigory, why didn't you tell me?
I thought I had it handled, and you already have so much on your plate. If I could just take care of it on my own, then that's the ideal.
Which is reasonable, but Craigory, if someone breaks into your house, I mean, I broke into your house. I admit that. I could have done a great deal of things. I've actively got a policy of what to do if someone breaks into another person's house. There is a sweep, there is a check of things. You have no idea what they could have planted in there. How they managed to find you, to abduct you, we don't know. I'll do a sweep of your house. We'll find anything that's there, but burying something like this is what anyone would want to do, but I could have helped. And even if it's just in hindsight, just making sure that they stay away, just making sure everything was okay. Did you think? And she stopped. She stopped so that you can talk. But there is something that she's thinking of.
Well, he stopped so you can talk. They're both just kind of going. He motions for you.
Did you think that I'd think of you differently because of everything?
I mean, kind of. I mean,
I'm gonna roll deception.
Uh-huh.
That's a nat 1.
Oh, joy!
Lynn actually slightly looks as though she's been stabbed.
Not like not like a bad way, like you hate. Like, I don't see why you'd hate me. It is damage control time. Hands are out, and kind of reaches for her, like hesitates and pulls back, then just shakes his head, commits. Hand on her shoulder. I mean, I thought about just like obscuring a bit of it, just talking about like, oh yeah, that's my parent around, they're being super shady, but I knew you'd then look further into it and you'd find out about the clone thing, about me being that, and I still don't really know how to process that. I wasn't ready.
I don't think anyone's ever ready for that sort of thing. But I'm telling you here and now, Craigory, you are Craigory. You are Craigory, and that is who you are to me. You are Craigory. You are my picnic. I do not think of you any differently at all.
Are you sure? I mean, Craigory is the person who told you nothing, as you said. Craigory is the person who didn't do enough after having his house broken into and got grabbed. Craigory is the person who gave Thrall information. Craigory is the person who got you and Fu and everyone who came roped into this. Could have gotten Lucille in a bunch of trouble if they'd come on their own.
Eyes on me, hey. And Lydia's just like scooching closer. Her free hand has come up, just like she's close to just like cupping his face. She doesn't want to touch immediately because she doesn't know how he'd immediately react to that, but she wants to. Just, eyes on me, eyes on me. Craigory. And yeah, you go.
His eyes had again been just sort of going around and back to that board, but after a bit of effort, he does look at her.
Okay, eyes on me. Focus on me. Deep breaths, You're starting to panic a little. Right, but Craigory, what happened was not your fault. What happened was Henrik. What happened was Thrall. You did not make any of these deals. You did not ask for any of this. You did not willingly give anything away. You kept things hidden, and I'm gonna be honest with you. I am hurt. I am fucking pissed at a lot of things, but I am going to process that. I am hurt because you are my best friend, and it is my privilege and joy to care about you. I want to make sure you're safe, and I can't do that if I don't know everything. And it hurts that you didn't trust me with this information. That I understand why, but it still hurts. But I am here for you because I love you. Okay? I'm not going anywhere.
Just didn't want to hurt you. Just sorry.
I feel the same. It's okay. You're gonna be okay, alright? We're gonna work on this, but we need to be more open in the future, alright? I struggle with talking to people about my problems, and you do as well. Bless your soul, you've not had the best upbringing with Henrik. You've been forced to rely on yourself. Up until the point where, well, your hand and everything, I understand why you do the things you do, but I'm standing here, or sitting here and now, saying, we're partners. And I want to be here for you, but I can only be so if we're both open. Let me help.
Okay. And Craigory seems to think about something for a moment. Just, can you hug, please?
Okay. For you, anything. And she just full on goes, come here, and she is pulling you into a tight and warm hug.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the good squeeze, and she is just very protective in this moment. You are getting the best hug that she can give because you mean the world to her.
Uh, and yeah, Craigory's holding on.
I've got you. You're safe here. You got out, Craigory. You're safe. You've come home. You're all right. You've come home.
Yeah. Yeah. This is
you can
home.
let go. You have been so brave and you have held on so long, and I am so heckin' proud of you. Right? I am so proud of you, Craigory. But you can let go, okay? It's over.
Hey, so he pulls back a little bit and tries to inject like a joking tone into this. Full transparency and everything. I have been having the weirdest urge to burn down your board.
Right. You think it... Is it like a tug in the back of your mind?
Actually, yeah.
Right, okay, I know exactly what that feels like. Sweetheart! And the board is gone. Okay. Shit, this is lingering. Okay. We're gonna handle this. We're gonna handle a lot of things. There are likely a lot of latent effects. I, myself, with what happened to me, but you know how there are certain trigger phrases or colours I can no longer look at or experience.
Yeah.
I think something similar is happening to you. We're going to find them. We're going to work it out. You've got your tattoo. I've got my bite mark and multiple handprints. We'll figure this out. Right?
Yeah.
One step at a time.
Yeah. Together this time. Right?
Together.
Yeah. Thanks.
We're partners.
Yeah.
For you, Craigory. For you, the world, Craigory.
You want to do one insight on that, Lin?
Mm-hmm. Hey!
Hey.
Hey! What you gonna give me with a nat 20?
Yo! Yo!
Lynn's leaned back slightly. She's got a hand on your shoulder, and her other hand is like on your hand where it's on her shoulder, and she's looking at you with just love and pride. And just, yeah, what's she seeing as she's looking you in the eyes?
For you, the world is just... It's not absolute gobsmack surprise, but it's essentially like a lot of things that it can't easily be put into words, but he's touched beyond belief. There's some relief in there amongst everything else. Belief in Lin. And he just kind of seems to settle into himself a bit, and he just thunks forward again, head is on your shoulder, and he's hugging.
It's hug time.
Mm-hmm.
It's time. And she's giving him like a kiss on the temple, and then she's just curling up. Network's watching all of this. Network is seeing a connection forming. Network likes this.
Yep.
God's almighty.
Nice.
She will be getting more of the information out as everything goes on. She's got the bases now of Thormavor, of her being contacted, of deals. once all of this is over, she's gonna be going into deeper detail on the Thormivore stuff, because she's had theories about that related to this town that she calls home.
Mm-hmm.
She's not sure she likes it.
Yep. You know, there's all the time in the world for figuring that out later and being clever about it.
Mm-hmm. There are plans forming. They know at least the bare bones of what's happening.
Yep.
And they have Craigory back, so they have time to prepare.
It's the most important stuff. And I think that's everything from me. Is there anything else from you or Lin?
Lin's just giving me the vibe of hold the wizard and never let go. She doesn't quite understand all of her emotions. Lin does not understand her emotions. She will probably make a board on this later on and probably go to Asclepius with, oh my god, I think I'm dying. She'll figure that out at another point. Right.
The fun thing about that Nat 20 is because Lin doesn't recognize it in herself, she doesn't recognize it in Craigory.
Yeah. It's just, there is love. She doesn't quite get this specific bit of love. She's never had this before. This is new. This is many emotions. They'll figure it out eventually.
They got it eventually. Craigory is perfectly happy to be, you know, in network with Lin. Things are aired out. He wasn't able to rat snitch as enthusiastically as he was really looking forward to on the way here, but some other things got cleared up.
Lin will be having him write stuff down. They will full on pantomime this shit if that's what it takes.
You wipe that smile off your face, Hex.
Hex was hiding a smaller smile underneath that face. No, it was a bigger smile. Shit.
All right. I think with that, we get to stop the recording.
Indeed. Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.